Have you ever thought about a place so sacred that the land itself, the very shape of the ground, is part of the prayer? Well, that's exactly what we're diving into today. We're exploring the incredible story of Omkareshwar. So let's start with this kind of wild idea. What if a place wasn't just a dot on a map? What if it was the physical shape of a prayer? A piece of geography that you could actually worship? That's the core concept we're going to unpack right now. Okay, so to really get Omkareshwar, you first have to understand Om. Now, this isn't just some symbol. In Hinduism, it's considered the primordial sound of creation itself, the vibration that started the whole universe. It's the absolute essence of reality. And the most amazing thing about Omkareshwar is how this huge, cosmic idea becomes totally real, literally carved into the landscape. And that leads us right to the land and the river. Because you see, to grasp the soul of Omkareshwar, you have to start with the earth and the water that hold it. Here, the geography isn't just some pretty background. It's a main character in the story. So get this. Omkareshwar is on this place called Mandatha Island, but it's not like a typical island in the ocean. It was formed because the mighty Narmada River actually splits in two, flows around this piece of land, and then joins back together. It's this beautiful natural process that created a sacred, isolated sanctuary, totally protected by the river on all sides and the ancient Vindhya Mountains. And we're not talking about just any river here. The Narmada is one of the holiest in all of India. It's believed to have come from Lord Shiva himself. There's this profound belief that just seeing its waters can grant you moksha, or spiritual liberation. That constant flow around the island, it's a powerful symbol of this timeless, unbroken spiritual energy. It perfectly shows how nature and the divine are just completely woven together here. So when you have geography that special, you just know it's going to have an incredible history. And it does. A history that's literally written in stone. For well over 1,000 years, this island has been a magnet for pilgrims, saints, and even kings, all drawn to its sacred shores. The main reason Omkareshwar is so famous is that it's one of only 12 Jyotirlingas in the entire world. Think of these as the absolute most sacred places for Lord Shiva. They're spots where he's believed to have appeared as a pillar of pure divine light. Being on that short, exclusive list makes Omkareshwar a premier, top-tier destination for any pilgrimage. You know, the temple you see today is like this amazing tapestry woven through time. People have been worshipping here since at least the 7th century. But then kings from the Paramara dynasty came in and really built up the site. And even later, in the 17th and 18th centuries, the Marathas came and gave it a major renewal. It's a living monument to centuries and centuries of unbroken faith. And that's really the key thing to remember. Omkareshwar isn't some dusty old relic. Nope. It is a living, breathing center of worship. Every single day, that ancient faith is alive with chants, with prayers, with rituals that connect the deep past right to this very moment. Now, here's a really fascinating detail about the worship here. The main shrine, the Jyotirlinga, is on the island. That's Omkareshwar. But right across the river, on the southern bank, there's another temple called Mamleshwar, and tradition says they are two halves of a single whole. So to actually complete your pilgrimage, you have to visit both. You have to cross that river and unite the two shrines in your journey. Pretty cool, right? This daily devotion just explodes during the big festivals. Can you imagine Mahashivratri? The whole island is buzzing with energy, with prayers and celebrations that go all night long. Or during the month of Shravan, when the Mondays see these massive crowds of pilgrims. And during Narmada Jayanti, the river becomes the star of the show, with thousands of little lamps floating on the water. It is an absolutely magical, breathtaking sight. All right, so if you're thinking, wow, I have to see this place, a few quick tips can make your trip so much better. The best weather is definitely between October and March. The closest major train station is in Khandwa, and from there it's pretty easy to get to the island by road. And here's a pro tip. The stone steps leading down to the river, the Ghats, can get really slippery. So trust me, good non-slip footwear is a must. So, as we start to pull all these threads together, it becomes really clear that Omkareshwar isn't just a temple. It's a whole sacred ecosystem. It's a true confluence, where the land itself, the deep river of its history, and the vibrant flow of daily faith all merge into one powerful experience. At the end of the day, Omkareshwar is not just a building you go visit. It's an entire environment that you experience. It's this sacred ecosystem where every single piece, from the shape of the island to the ancient myths and the morning prayers, all flows together, just like the Narmada River itself. And that takes us right back to where we started, but now we see it in a whole new light. What happens when geography itself becomes something to be worshipped? Well, Omkareshwar gives us the answer. The land becomes a map of the divine, the river becomes a current of liberation, and a simple island becomes a timeless prayer.